scramble. We're looking forward to being able to have that type of conversation tonight where we talk about some of the things that are historical, some of the pieces that are linked to our women folk and working together, and also about entrepreneurship. And then we're going to talk about the book that has just come forward. So we're going to save that for a moment. With that being shared, I really would like to welcome, before I even go further, our illustrious guest, right? Sister Queen Stormy Gordon, who is my sister friend. I work on the ride or live. I know people like to say ride or die, but I'm gonna focus on we're gonna ride and live together. And we've had the honor and privilege of doing certain travels together. And she's also my illustrious business partner like no other, with a passion to really help families, to help communities establish intergenerational wealth in a variety of ways. So, with that, I just would like to say welcome, greetings, Sister Queen Stormy. And thank you for joining us here on our broadcast.
Oh wow! I'll tell you, that was you making me blush there. The Chinzera Kahina. Thank you so much. That was a very delightful introduction. I thank you. Let me throw it back at you, Sister Queen Mother. I'm gonna tell you what, Dr. Chen, you are all inspiring, which is the reason I am feeling very humbled and grateful for being on this format with you and your illustrious guest and strong-minded, strong woman, right? So yeah, let's kick this off.
Oh,
You know,
absolutely, absolutely. Because we know how we talk, so we can make this so that persons can know that here in this Caribbean space with American flavor and
yes.
a lot of indigenous African cultural global vibes, we get an opportunity to really embrace a variety of things. And I really would love for you to share, some of your passions, some of the drive that you have on being an entrepreneur. And we let's start at the how did we get in this environment? How did we get here?
How do we get in this environment?
Yeah, how did we get here?
Well, you know what, Dr. Chen, it's very simple. If you want better, you go seek better.
Mhm.
I am a firm believer that when something isn't working, something isn't making you happy, you are the only one responsible for changing your circumstance. But the circumstances are changed by the tools that are made available to you. And like you and I had a discussion much earlier, I go back biblically because I believe all my journey in my almost 59 years has been definitely at the forefront of what my creator created me for. My background history is I am a critical care step down nurse of 37 years. I served communities, I served the public, and I've served worldly as my deceased husband was a military veteran. And one of these things that never struck me was the word entrepreneurship. It was never in my forethought, never thought about it, never even desired it, because I came from that culture that said, go to school, get educated, go into debt, so that I had to work 40 plus hours a week for 40 years of my life to get 40% of what I worked hard for to make others rich. It was in 2020 when I decided to retire after my 30 plus year career in nursing, being too young to be retired, but I put in the time. And it was with that this opportunity to be an entrepreneur, which I had never been before in my life, was shared with me. I did it for selfish reasons. I wanted to be an entrepreneur in a $1 trillion industry called travel because I love to travel. I live on the island of St. Croix.
What?
I had to travel here because I loved it here. But guess what? My children, my grandchildren, my family's in the States. Bred, born, and raised Pittsburgh. I don't know if there's any Steeler fans on here, but I'm going to be a Yankee for a minute. Go Steelers. Now, that being said, needed to be able to travel to live my best life, to get where I needed to be during that pandemic. I needed it to be affordable. Entrepreneurship came about with me being able to own a home based but not homebound business in travel. Honestly, Dr. Chin,